Hello and welcome to Mia the Passion Muse Show. I'm Mia Saenz Whitmore, your host, and with me is Victoria Wynn from the Lies I Tell Myself Project. Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you, Mia.
I'm glad you're here. Last week we had a show on body image, and this week we promised to do one on self-love. And although they can go hand in hand, it's a much deeper work that's done, and it's beautiful. I'm excited about this one because this is the main work that I do with my clients, is self-love. So,
I like it.
I'm excited.
I can see that. That's great. I'm like, well, I love
it. So because I'm a chatterbug about self-love and all the depths and aspects, would you like to say anything before we get started here? Because
you're not going to take a breath for the next 10 minutes.
This is my show. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
I love how you can tell, though, when someone is passionate, about what they're doing. Because there's certain shows that we've done that I'm like, oh, that's me, and It's just, you get extra alive from it. So I think it's great. I'm like, woo, run with it. I'll just share a little bit here and there. And so self-love is something that I definitely could not preach without my own practice of it. And I really, really didn't understand what self-love was. I had questions like, is that selfish? That also sounded kind of hippie to me, hippie and weird. Mm-hmm. So these are all the thoughts that were going through my head when I first heard that word. So let's definitely delve into is it selfish? What exactly does it mean? What does self-love mean? And how do you incorporate it into your life without it taking over your life? Or how to keep balance with it? What does all that mean?
Okay.
So that's a question that, I've worked through, but I'm sure you could teach me a lot about it. And I know that if someone doesn't, I need an accountability partner sometimes for the self-love stuff, like doing things each day that I enjoy really just for me, not because I'm trying to serve this person or serve that person or be a mom or a wife, but things that I really enjoy and always have since I was a kid. Honestly, I'm not that great at doing those things, even though when I get into them, like painting for me, I'm in heaven, I'm in peace. But I do have accountability partners who are like, Victoria, okay, have you started that painting? And my husband helps me as well, which is super cool to have a support system.
Right.
Instead of him being self-centered, he's very much like, did you get painting done today? Did you, take a super long shower like he knows I love? And so
to nurture yourself.
Yeah, I've not been with a man that is so supportive of me nurturing myself. It says a lot about his confidence and his self-love, too.
Right. And he's a more of an evolved man.
Yeah.
That was brought into your life, so.
Lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Something that you had said was the selfish aspect and also having accountability. My mind is going a million miles a minute. The selfish part, I was always a giver. I still am, but I had to learn to be a receiver. And that was the hardest thing for me. So, when I started looking at what I liked, and it's funny because I didn't implement this. I learned it before, but I didn't implement it until I had left my husband. But some of the men that I was dating, I thought, wow, I really like them, but they're kind of selfish. And so I broke it down. And I realized, no, they're just showing self-love. And I'm like, So what we do is we pick people that we can, or who inspire us, and we break down how they act, how they emulate themselves. And so we talked about patterning before and imprint. We are repatterning, we're re-imprinting ourselves as grown-ups would do. And to have an accountability partner, I think that's fabulous. You're very fortunate, but most of my clients don't have accountability partners, except for a coach like me. So, and so you are very, very fortunate. Those who have someone, and especially someone who is like, yeah, go do it, baby. You're very, very, very blessed. You really are.
Or I create opportunities to make friends that are like-minded and we're working on similar stuff. And on Facebook, on the 50 Shades of Lies page, we help each other a lot. And that was just a free group that I created where we can hold each other to accountability. You know, there's one woman, she's working on quitting smoking, and she said, I'm posting this here because I know I need this for me, because she's learning to love herself, but she's also posting it as accountability, you know, for herself. And so we could all cheer her on, and and any slip-ups that she might have, it's like, whatever, that was yesterday. Today's so
exactly. And that's what I love about self-love. It's being gentle. I tell my clients, be gentle with yourself. Love yourself. Nurture yourself. If you overate today, okay. You can stop now. You can stop in 5 minutes, or you can stop tonight. The choice is yours and totally yours. But the one thing you can't do is to complain about it. You decide, you take responsibility, and you step forward, and you jump back into where you want to be. The moment you decide, okay, I need a minute, I need 5 minutes, I need tonight, and then tomorrow I'll wake up beautiful and happy. I know that sounds, you know, like, wow, that's kind of easy, but also kind of difficult. But it's not. It's our choice. Our choice.
I think that it's our choice, and it's the shame that kills us, that kills our goals and our dreams, and our resolution. It's the shame of, I didn't exercise as much as I said I would. I didn't this and I didn't that. I definitely feel like the core is. I should say the core of a reoccurring negative habit is shame.
It is. But who shames us? It's society that we've learned. It's ourselves, and we can break that. We can so break that. And it's easy. And if we hold ourselves accountable for us, our responsibility, we can break out of that shame. But all this goes really, really deep. And it's fun. And it's scary. And it's exciting. And when you start to change, as Victoria said, ooh, it sounds like a hippie word. But, and it's funny because I have people in Santa Monica. I have an office in Miami and one in Santa Monica. And so when I'm in Santa Monica, people say, you're the love guru. I've had other artists say that because they follow me on Facebook and we're friends or whatever. And it's funny because, or a chic hippie. You know, I love that one because I absolutely don't look like a hippie and I don't act like one. But, you know, we all can be chic in love. You know what I mean? It's like we choose what we want, and that's what the fantastic thing about self-love is it's all about us. Not hurting anybody, but putting us first. I realized when I put myself first, I became a better mother. Because, because my kids could see, look at Mom, you know.
And we're happier.
Yes.
We take a little time for ourselves, and then we project that happiness. We project our crappiness, and we project our happiness.
Exactly.
So might as well choose the happy one, and, you know, little self-love goes a long way.
Right, right. For me, I have practical, experiential things that I work with my clients on, and a lot of my work is confidential. People have to sign disclosures because until my book is out, I have to protect what I believe has been my life practice, my life work. But I'm wanting to share and help as much as I can, so here we go.
You can give us hints.
Yeah, and I can give you guys some tips too.
Excellent.
One of the daily exercises, and I give people a lot of work, and when I talk to them, they have to commit to an 8-week program. I've foofed it around over the last year or two, but now it's an 8-week program with every 2 weeks is the same thing so that they're not as stressed out. But the thing is this is what they have to do every day. They have to look at themselves in the mirror and they talk to themselves. And the first thing they begin with is, I love you. And a lot of times people can't do that. It stirs up pain, suffering. When I first said that to myself when I was 24, I cried And I said, no, I don't love you. I hate you. And my sister taught me, which is beautiful, which was the beginning of my healing of myself, was my sister taught me to actually just hug myself, you know, and that has been a really huge part of...
Try that.
I'll
do that. That's fun.
And if for some reason you're like having a hard time and you're showering and you're thinking about stuff, just hug your body, feel your body, love your body, touch your body. If you can't do it, who can? Who are you going to allow in? So the more you rub your arms, so what if they're bigger than you would like them to be right now? If you love them, they're going to shrink because you're going to shrink. Your whole concept of who you are, which goes also back to the body image, is going to get in alignment. As I was sharing with Victoria before, a few days back, a client wrote me and just brought tears. I love this. It just brings tears to my eyes when there's these sweet, sweet stories. She is one of my European clients, and she was saying that she had done it in kilograms, and then she put it in pounds, and she said, I'm the highest I've ever been, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I saw beauty. And I love that, because we can see beauty when we see a larger body. We can, because we love ourselves.
Or a smaller body.
Or a smaller body.
Whatever right. Society says is not right.
Exactly, you know? Because it's loving who you are. It's loving your skin and your human form, but it also comes from within. So it's the within is appreciating the legs that take me walking, the arms that make me want to hug you, my smile that just when I see you smile back at me, it just makes it bigger. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all those little nuances about who we are and getting in touch with our confidence, our self-worth, our self-value, and not allowing anyone in to disrupt that. Victoria was saying how she's built friends around her now that support her. And it's funny because when I first started doing this work, I've had clients say, well, you know, I don't have any friends, or they're rude, or they're this or that, and I just started giggling to myself, and I thought, wow, the more you put it out there that you want something amazing, that's all you'll have. Because I started realizing that's all that's in my group of girlfriends and stuff, are supporting, loving, mm-hmm. nurturing.
Part of self-love is creating boundaries.
It is.
So, you know, that's kind of underhanded way of saying get rid of those friends.
Right.
But it's... You know, the question I would say to ask every day with every activity is this the most loving choice for myself? Mm-hmm. Or a question that I ask is, does this serve me? Mm-hmm. You know, does this serve my truth and who I am? Does it serve me to not do some art every week? Mm-hmm. No. Does it serve me to rush through my showers and just get through it? It might serve other people, but for me and my truth, mm-hmm. no, I find tons of peace. I get some of my best ideas in that shower, you know, mm-hmm. so it doesn't serve me to rush through it. And everybody's different, but you know the answer when you ask yourself, does this serve me? Mm-hmm. I know people that will ask that about food that they're eating. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes, at least with me, I'll say, does eating from this tub of ice cream serve me? And you know what? The answer might be no, and I'll still do it, like last night. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, maybe in that moment it kind of does. I'm having fun with my husband. We both have these tubs of ice cream, and we're watching Iron Chef. Yeah. Who cares? In that moment, maybe it did. It does. I'm not going to say it's going to serve my waistline or whatever, but my point is, it's okay sometimes to conscious. It's not to make every perfect choice. We are human and we do have temptations. So with the ice cream one, I don't know. I guess my mind says it doesn't serve you, but my heart says, you know what? We actually had fun. I didn't eat the whole tub of ice cream. It was just fun to eat out of the tub.
Right.
So
right.
Maybe in a way it did serve me. If that was my habit every morning and every night, I would say no.
Right.
But it's a great question to ask when you're arguing with your partner, when you're getting offended by a friend, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Self-love.
And also, we have the option, the ability to instantly change everything about us in just that conscious moment. Being conscious of what we're doing, like you said about the tub of ice cream. No, it didn't serve me at that moment, but I had fun. I mean, it was serving the purpose at the moment. I had fun. Am I going to do it again tomorrow morning, tonight? No, I'm not. So that's what I think that is a really beautiful thing is we can jump back into where we want to be at any given moment, because we are in control of our life. We are the masters of our life. I'm the queen. He's the king. He's the king. Victoria in front of me is the queen. It's our own life to govern, to rule.
Our own little kingdom.
It is. And as long as we run it fairly and nicely to others, we can be that king and queen.
Yeah, well, true leaders are just in service.
Yes.
So that totally works for me.
Yeah, I love that. There are so many aspects of actually getting into experiencing the feelings of how you are to get in touch with your self-love. When I am first talking to a client, I'll have them imagine the most amazing life they want to create. And it's so that they open their expansion of their consciousness. And we've talked about this before, whether that's creating a better job, house, relationship, children, not the way they look, but who we can be for them, how we can help raise them. Anything about us, the way we want to look, the way we want to show up in the world. All these, if we take the time to expand our consciousness on any given topic that is bothering us, lingering us, we get through it. We get through the fear to freedom. And that's part of self-love too, is stepping from I can't to I can. This rocks.
That's my year. That's what this year is for me. I've shared on the 50 Shades of Lies group that my word of this year is courage. And you know what? It is. It's been absolutely so freeing for me and so loving to me to be courageous enough to be myself, as I was calling it, flying my freak flag. I've been flying my freak flag really high, just being vulnerable and not worrying as much about the outcome or what people are thinking of me and or what I look like or how I speak. Or it's probably been the most loving thing that I've ever done for myself, is making this shift into just flying my freak flag high.
And being proud to be able to fly it as high as you want.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. It was really scary in the last few weeks when I was feeling like that's where, if I want to keep moving forward, that's where I need to be. Kind of scary. Now I'm getting a little more excited about it. Like, you know what? So what? What if one person only shows up at my workshop or seminar? When I get to the point where I don't take that as a personal hit, I would say that I've reached that. The self-love that I would love to get to, when it doesn't matter because I'm living my purpose.
Right.
That's what matters.
And when it doesn't matter, that's when they come. When we don't put that emphasis on how many we're packing in, that's when they show. I remember the very first one that I ever gave. It was really scary because I only had like 17 people respond, but another 20 came, and took care of stuff at the door. And it was like, wow, my first one, 37 people. Woohoo! It was very, very cool. And my point of going into that, and it's like the same in life, is if we can affect, help, share, move, stimulate one person, we've done our job. We've done our job at that moment.
And you know what? Even if we're just living our truth, what if that one person is us? And that works too.
Right.
I'm working on it. Yeah. Courage.
I love that, because we are working on our truth all the time to actually walk the walk that we talk. And there's not that many people that walk the walk that they talk.
They're so inspiring. I mean, sometimes they look like they're just so nerdy, and they're the type that will just dance however they want to dance, but there's something so cool about that.
Yeah.
So inspiring. Or we're talking with body image, and there's women at the beach that they'll wear stuff that I would not wear, yet there's something so cool about it. I'm like, you go, you know?
Yeah.
Look at that person just living life, not with all crap getting in the way. And I just think that's so inspiring when people just take a stand for who they are, and you could tell that they're not worrying in their head about what everybody's thinking. Like they're just being.
Right.
So zen to me. I love that idea. So I'm working on it.
You know what's also beautiful about self-love is when you were saying in the shower, you're taking that time and you're getting the best ideas you get. I live my life that way too, because that's really actually a meditative state that we put ourselves in. We're in a state of enjoyment of ourselves. When we're enjoying and self-loving ourselves, we are in a meditative state. That's what meditation is all about. You don't have to sit with your legs crossed like this, you know. I don't know if that showed up on camera all the way, but I don't even meditate like that. You know, I lay flat. You know, I'm bored when I meditate or I'm in the shower, or I'm swimming in the pool, you know, and then I go into the free flow zone, I call it, because we don't have to be a certain way. And that's what's the fabulous thing about self-love. We don't have to be a certain way. We only have to be us.
And it's okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It totally rocks, because when you're happy with yourself and you're in that zone and you know it, like when you're creating, Victoria, even in the shower, which is so funny for some people to hear that, but I totally get it. When you're creating, your mind is just flowing and flowing and flowing, and one little aspect builds on another. Yes.
Downloading from the universe.
Exactly. So if we allow ourselves that time, whether it's in the shower, whether it's before we get up in the morning, or at night, I have my clients set their intention for the day to sleep well, to wake up the next day refreshed and happy and go at it. But all this is set in a quiet space within themselves. You know, so you have a partner in bed. You either wait till it's quiet, till you're through playing or not playing or whatever, or you go somewhere else, and you just set your intention in. And you know, it's funny because as little children, a lot of religions teach us to pray, and that is basically, I've had ministers and different religious clergy people talk to me about meditation and what I think the difference is between meditation and prayer. And I say to them, it's just quieting the clutter, the chatter in our head so we can pray, so we talk directly to Source. And it's beautiful. They go hand in hand. We learn not to beg, not to plead, not to blah, 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 because there's so much chatter. It's separating everything out. So, like when you're in the shower and everything's downloading, that's because you've cleared your path and you're receiving from the universe exactly what you said. It's beautiful. And it's a gift that you know how to give yourself. And to me, that is the most amazing gift of all. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
I would agree, and I just was in this conversation yesterday. I don't know if you heard, did you hear me on the radio yesterday? I think it's archived on their website today, so I'd love for you to have a listen. So the woman's name is Angel Shannon. She has been in radio for decades, TV and radio. So she's a known name. I think she's written some books too. So I was on her radio show, and I was saying again that the word meditation, it used to just ring hippie to me, you know. And she was getting me clear also that I actually meditate daily and never noticed it. It might look like me staring at a wall. In the morning, I'm getting clear on what I want to create that day, how yesterday went. And that helps to give me some grounding as for today, and I'll get great ideas. But if someone were to walk in, it would probably be pretty embarrassing. They think I was probably lazy or in a coma. Yeah. I painted my walls in my bedroom a beautiful color, actually very similar to this one behind me. And I just love staring at it. It's very ocean-like to me. And so I just go into just this peaceful state. And so she was like explaining, Victoria, you meditate. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a hippie. It's awesome.
You're free-spirited.
Yeah.
You stepped outside of your paradigm. Isn't that truly what hippie is? I mean, when you think about it?
Yeah, actually. Oh my gosh, I'm a total hippie then.
We're modern day chic hippies.
That's awesome. My point, I guess, in sharing is that I appreciate you talking about meditation, and I wasn't thinking about the shower thing either. Mm-hmm. So I've been kind of hard on myself. All my friends do this meditation thing. I don't relate to it. Turns out, I guess I do. So
yes, exactly.
All the time, and so thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Talking about this.
And it doesn't have to look any way. As long as we're connecting and quieting our thoughts, it doesn't have to look any way. You can stand on your head if you want, you know?
My husband does yoga, and he's like, it's just moving meditation, Victoria. You know, I should.
I love that, yeah. And I used to think in the beginning, oh my goodness, well, so-and-so does it this way, or they follow, this guru, or da-da. I don't care. That's where the self-love comes into. I don't care. Good for them. I love that they found that. For me, what works is aligning myself, quieting myself, letting things just download. And the more I'm out there, this is how I see other people working it too. And it's like, yes, of course. It's a beautiful art, because truly, again, it's loving yourself. I love having those moments of clarity where you're touched totally by the divine, by source, your creator. You're just absolutely in alignment. I love it more than my morning coffee, and everyone knows that I love to go get my morning coffee. And I wait for that first sip, and if it's then it's, awesome, everything's going really well, So
to talk about what the morning coffee is to people, I understand it, but my husband just swears by it, like has to have that morning coffee. I'm like, you're an addict. He's like, no, I'm not. I just like it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't make it at home generally. I always go out, because it's part of the whole ambiance of seeing people, hearing people, watching people, the flavor, there's a whole experience for you. It is, because I'm so in touch with my five senses that it is a whole experience. It's what the world looks like. It's who's smiling, and how green is that tree, and what do I hear, and the taste of it, and yeah. It is a whole experience. It's not just the coffee. It's a whole experience that people are having with that, which I probably have with something else. Like, Victoria, what's with your morning yogurt, you freak? I don't know. I just love morning yogurt. Got it.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Cut that out. I had to go off on the tangent. I was so curious.
No, it's good, because some people don't understand, and if we all share our ideas openly and not be afraid, we learn from every little tiny thing, and everything is okay as long as it's okay with that individual. Yeah. It truly is. And so to love yourself, to truly love yourself, is to truly get to know yourself and to truly regrow who you are, because in our last show, Body Image, we talked about how we're born as a clean slate, and we're taught by outside influences, which is what becomes our paradigm, whether it's our teacher, our parent, the government, media, everything. So we're learning to rebuild, regrow. I sound like the $6 Million Man. Rebuild. Regrow our inner child. And that's what I love. And it took me a while to be able to say to people, I'm a self-love coach. I help rebuild, regrow our inner child. And it's beautiful when you get to know it, and that child turns around and can save you in a moment of sheer terror, because you've re-raised that, instead of it cowering, and you're afraid, where it comes up and says, no, Mia, this is the way you're going to handle it. That's you, your inner child, talking through you. Yeah, through your absolutely. Higher self. So it's totally beautiful. So, there's many methods, but a part of this show is the lies I tell myself. So every single lie about you that is upsetting, disruptive, is not good for who you are. So face that. What lie am I telling myself? And then you go through that lie. You write it down, and you write the reverse and how to get out of it. That's your tip for today besides the mirror tip. And there's more too. But so it's very, very important to, and have a journal that says the lies I tell myself, and write your lie down and write the reverse of it and go live the reverse of it, because that's truly who you are. That's
what my whole program's about.
I know. That's why I love it so much.
Just that.
I know. That's why I had to throw it in, because
thank you.
I love the project that you have, and I love calling it a project, because it seems so much more important than a program.
The
it's like
project
a huge
part
movement.
of it is because I think that we're all, project continues and continues, and it's not an overnight thing. Some epiphanies come huge, and that can feel overnight. And then other things we're just always growing. So it's a project, just not in a negative, how am I going to get my husband clean the garage kind of project.
Right, exactly.
It's more like a super fun art project or something that you're making, or, that kind of project.
We're creating ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Creative.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining me this week for the self-love. And we both will see you next week. We have a few more shows for the month of January with Victoria and the lies I tell myself. Thank you. Have a wonderful week.
You too. Bye.